what is the one spy trick you would teach everyone that they can use to improve their life instantly?
The most important spy trick to change everything immediately is something called perception versus perspective. Perception is your interpretation of the world around you, but it's unique only to you. There's no advantage in your perception. That's why so many people find themselves arguing all the time, trying to convince other people of their own perception. The way that you win any argument, the way that you get ahead in your career is when you move off of perception and move into perspective. Perspective is the act or the art of observing the world from outside of yourself, whether that's outside of yourself as like an entity just observing in a third from a different point of view, or even more powerful, you sit in the shoes, you sit in the seat of the person opposite you, and you think to yourself, what is their life like? What do they feel right now? Are they comfortable? Are they uncomfortable? What's the stressor that they woke up to this morning? What's the stressor that they're going to go to sleep with tonight? When you shift places and get out of your own perception and into someone else's perspective, now you're thinking like them, which is giving you an informational advantage. But you know what they're all doing? Everyone else out there is trapped in their own perception, not thinking about a different perspective. So immediately you have superior information, superior positioning. If you do that to your boss, it's going to change your career. If you do that to your spouse, it's going to change your marriage. If you do that to your kids, it's going to change your family legacy because nobody else out there is doing it.
It's so interesting how difficult empathy is for people. I think when you start to understand the way the other person sees the world, you start to enjoy the world through their eyes, and you start to be able to share, in terms of intimacy, share the beauty that they see together because you understand their perspective, and somehow you converge as well. I find empathy is such a powerful way to resolve any tensions there.
So I want to draw a pretty hard line between perspective and empathy, because empathy is frankly an overused term by people who don't really know what they're saying sometimes. I think you know what you're saying, but the vast majority of people listening, empathy is about recognizing that they have feelings and recognizing that their feelings are valid. Perspective is more than just feelings. Yes, I care about feelings, but I also care about objectives. What is your life? What is your aspirational goal? What was it like to grow up as you?
Yeah.
What was it like to experience this, and how did this shape your opinion on that? More than just feelings, actual tactical actions. Because if you can get into someone's head, you can start anticipating what actions they're going to take next. You can direct the actions that they're going to take next because you're basically telling them the story that's in their own head. The more you practice perspective, the more you just validate that a person is there. I am in this time and space with you in this moment. That is powerful.
Is it possible for maybe somebody like me or a regular person to disappear from the grid?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's not as hard as you might think. Convenience and security, right? I can walk you through 3 steps right now that are going to help you disappear tomorrow. But none of them are convenient. The first thing you do is every piece of digital technology you have that is connected to you in any way is now dead. You just let the battery run out.
Forever.
Forever. You never touch it again, starting at this moment. What you have to do is go out and acquire a new one. Realistically, you will not be able to acquire a new one in the United States by buying it. Because to do so, you would tie it to your credit card, you would tie it to a location, a time, a place, a registered name, whatever else. So you would have to acquire it essentially by theft or through the black market. From there on, you're just doing whatever you have to do, whether you're stealing every step of the way or whether you run a massive con, and that can take care of your finances, that can take care of your lodging. You are whoever you present yourself to be. If you want to be Bill for the afternoon, just go tell people your name is Bill. They're not going to question you.
The natural web of intelligence gathering systems we have in the United States and in the world, are they going to believe for long that you're Bill?
Till you do something that makes them think otherwise. If you are consistent, they will think you're Bill forever.
How difficult is that to do?
It's not convenient. It's quite difficult.
Does that require training?
It does require training.
People that are currently working at the CIA would kind of look down on the people who've left the CIA, and they deride them, especially if you go public. Do you feel the pressure of that to be quiet, to not do something like this conversation that we're doing today?
I feel the silent judgment. That's very real. I feel it for myself and I feel it for my wife, who doesn't appear on camera very often, but who's also former CIA. We both feel the judgment. 3 days after this is released, somebody's going to send an email on a closed network system inside CIA headquarters, and there's a bunch of people who are going to laugh at it. A bunch of people who I'm trying to bring honor to. These are people who are out there doing the deed every day. And I want to bring them honor. And I want to do that in a way that I get to share what they can't share and what they won't share when they leave, because they will also feel the silent pressure.
How do you know who's lying to you and not?
There's body cues. There's micro expressions. I don't believe that micro expressions alone do anything. Without knowing a baseline, without knowing
For that individual.
Then you actually don't know. And an individual's baseline is based on education, culture, life experience, you name it, right? But when you combine facial expressions with body movements, body language, nonverbal cues, and you add on top of that effective elicitation techniques, now you have a more robust platform to tell if someone's lying to you. The first part of our conversation, I've been able to create some baseline elements about you. From those baselines, now we can push through more intentional questions to test whether or not the person is being truthful because they're operating within their baseline, or if you are triggering sensitivities outside of their baseline, and then you can start to see their tells.
Let me ask you to put on your wise sage hat and give advice to other 27-year-olds. What advice would you give them about how to have a career or how to have a life they can be proud of?
I would just say the same thing that I would say, that I do say and I will say to my own kids. You only have one life. You only have one chance. If you spend it doing what other people expect you to do, you will wake up to your regret at some point. The folks that really have a blessed life are the people who learn early on to live with their own rules, live their own way, and live every day as if it's the last day. If you want to learn a language, today's a day to find a way to buy a ticket to another country and learn through immersion. If you want a business, today is the day to just go out and take one step in that direction. If the step seems like it's too big, then there's probably 2 other steps that you can do before that. Just make constant progress, build momentum, move forward, and live on your own terms. That way you don't ever wake up to the regret.